Hello again, and welcome to Interview with DJ Nocturna. Thank you for joining me.
Hey,
Today,
hey,
I have two wonderful people who are my guests, and I'm so grateful to have them on the show. They're coming from a very, very far place, Armenia. So we had to schedule this show to really put in the hours that we can do it. I have the band Vay-la. They consist of Vif Nute, who is the vocalist, and Bes Eirid, who is
yeah,
who does everything else. And you guys are just an amazing duo. And thank you so
thanks.
much for joining me. And you have quite you know, um, a history of what of your life and how you maybe you can talk a little bit about that because you live in Armenia, but you're not Armenians, right?
Yes, we're
Yeah,
not.
yeah, we're not. Yeah, and maybe you can tell us a little bit, because I know you guys fled your country to get away from the war, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we left Russia in March 22 after the war started. And
yeah,
since then, we kind of living
we,
very unpredictable.
yeah. Living
Yeah,
sort of like, out of a suitcase.
yeah, oh
I
yeah,
think we, I think we kind of, uh, we left not only, it's, many people stayed, many people returned,
mm-hmm.
but um, it's just, the place became weird,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
The,
autocracy and,
the government hates people, so
yeah,
there's no way we can
it's
live
a
there.
very toxic atmosphere.
Yeah, that's really hard. Could imagine. And so, do you mind if we just talk a little bit about this so that people understand a little bit? Because I think the music is kind of, I mean, I would have never known, about your music. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, I could, but I think this interview is really significant. So you guys were living in Russia, right? And then how did you find out that this was happening? Because it was so sudden, right?
Yeah, it's actually there are people who spoke about things for a while,
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure.
but yeah, but we're not. I don't think we're the kind of people who can. I wanted to say that we're not the kind of people who follow the news. Yeah, yeah, we sort of downshifted for quite a while. Really distanced ourselves from pretty much anything, I guess. Yeah, almost didn't go on the internet, just read books and
Yeah.
Connected with the nature
yeah,
mm,
yeah,
most of the time.
walked in the forests and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we probably didn't know for at least a day until somebody called and started to tell about the war and like,
And how you doing?
what? Yeah, how
Oh,
you doing, guys? What do you mean,
oh,
how I
so
doing?
you guys didn't see it outside your window and things like that going on. I mean, that wasn't common
We
at the time.
we lived in such a bubble, and our bubble was primarily, where
Oh.
the trees grow and the waves roll and
Yeah, I
the
understand.
birds sing. Yeah, but we very very briefly we realized that it's not going anywhere good, and it started to happen so sudden that you hear people talking in the hushed voices and
Mm.
all this hmm, uh, military symbolism and this kind of.
I know, but were you guys afraid that somebody might find out, and then I don't know if there was a fear, right? Paranoia.
Yeah, a lot of paranoia around.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. We kind of like I think we already were um, we already were ready. Really, we didn't really feel any. Obviously, things were happening before that. The government didn't really conceal much of who they were before. So we were surprised. We were surprised with how the events went, but we were not really surprised. I don't know what did I want to say actually. I think I wanted to say that the feelings that we felt, it was a shock, but it wasn't a shock of genuine surprise. It's not like you lived in in the land of fairy tales and what's their name, the horses.
I mean, your
or
country is
the
really beautiful.
unicorns. Yeah.
It's really a beautiful country, the architecture and everything. What about your family? You must have family there, right?
Our yeah, our families, our relatives, yeah, still there, and
They are there and they have their own views on the
yes,
situation.
so it's
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
yeah,
that's hard then. It's hard. It's hard when you separate too, right? So I can see, I mean, I can't even imagine what you're going through because until you really do, for me, if you're not doing what they're doing, it's hard to really put yourself there. It's hard.
yeah, yeah, but
It's hard, but we're alive and
yeah,
we have everything we need to make music. So I guess we're
Yeah.
good.
So you guys had like a couple of suitcases and your instruments, and that's what
Yes.
you did to get out of the country.
yeah,
And for a couple of years, actually, we dreamed to come to Armenia, but we didn't plan it ever.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had a friend a friend from St. Petersburg who used to live actually in this particular little city that we're now in, and she showed us photographs of the mountains long time ago, and we were like, yeah, we have to go there one day. But when that thing happened, when everything started to happen, we just, I guess it took us a week to just figure out, pack stuff, give away everything that we don't need, and just jump on a plane. And we basically had no idea, because that friend who we knew, she was from here, but it's not like,
Yeah.
so we didn't really have anyone.
So
So basically,
you've never been to Armenia even before. This is the first
No.
time. Oh, okay.
yeah, we had no idea where we're going. It was completely unknown, everything. Yeah.
And so when you grab your a couple of suitcases and your equipment, was there a lot to bring with you? I don't know if you have. I know you have whole guitar and all that stuff, and you just
It was a lot,
yeah.
but we couldn't actually bring some of the instruments with us because they were too big and too heavy.
Oh.
So we actually sent stuff ahead
Oh,
by
okay. Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay.
by mail, and eventually it reached us. I think
Before.
3 months later.
Oh. I mean,
So for
how
three
did you
months,
know where you were going? Did you know where you were gonna move to?
no, we just sent it to the post office, some particular post office that we were planning to
Oh, wow.
get there to grab the instruments and then figure it out. Eventually, we already lived in another city actually when the instruments came, so it was quite a ride. 3 months we just didn't have any equipment with us, so it was hell.
Yeah. So how are you guys? I mean, how is it now over there? I mean, do you feel a little bit more? settled in? Because I know
Uh,
you said before we did the interview, you guys are still like, you don't know what you're gonna do next. It's just like, yeah,
Well, it doesn't feel like we settled.
not yet. Yeah,
yeah. I don't think we're actually the kind of people who can settle. So, yeah.
yeah. That's why you guys call yourself the band without a country.
Yes. That's a bit of a, you know, a bit of a statement, but it's also a bit of a sentiment.
So I know you released your debut album. This is when you were back home, right?
Yes.
The Nation of One.
Uh-huh.
And then the second album, which is was it just released? I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Just
was.
recently, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sentimental
September
Craving.
8th.
Yes, yeah. On Project, which is a wonderful label.
Yes.
Sentimental Craving for Beauty.
Yes.
So, what was the inspiration behind? Because that must have been influenced by everything that's going on in your world.
Yeah.
Well, we were pretty depressed the last this 2 years, and I guess we wanted to articulate our despair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We actually already had uh, the draft version of the album. Oh, we actually thought that we already had the album.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was last September, probably, when we already here in Armenia, when we just went to the, walk in the mountains, listened to it in the headphones, and something just didn't work because I guess things changed, we changed,
Mm-hmm.
and we felt disconnected from the songs and from the
Oh.
sound and everything. So we kind of threw it away and started from scratch and took a little bit of a different path with, you know, we before we used to take this road of the studio nerdy production where you sit in front of the computer and layer and layer and layer and layer,
Mm-hmm.
and mangle the sounds and we just got sick of it. I guess. Oh, we got sick of staring at the screen probably, and we just wanted to feel some sort of something more
Yeah.
human, I guess, more alive. So we were sitting and playing the instruments, and
This the whole new concept appeared out of
yeah,
it. So
just
just
wanted,
fooling around.
yeah. We kind of just were horsing around, really, yes, and but it came to the point that we wanted to make it sound um, not minimal, I guess, but leave only the bare essentials,
Yeah.
what we can play with our hands,
I read something about the album that you mentioned that it rose from the ashes. So I feel like you guys went through a very big transformation, right? With your move, and
Yes.
and I feel like you're still going through that transformation.
Uh,
Like the
Yeah.
phoenix
yeah.
rising from the ashes, and you're just completely. Do you feel this album is much different from the when you first did your debut album? Because of all the influences that came about, outside influences, and the struggles you went through, and you're still realizing perhaps certain things are still like coming into your realization, and learning. I mean, I mean, for me, if I was going through that, I think I would just be like, I would be totally like you guys. Be like in the state that you're in, and you said you're a little bit depressed, and I feel that. I feel it right now, and but I also feel like it's in a way is a blessing in disguise because it's a transformation,
Yeah,
which is always a good thing.
yeah. We had this thought that the universe has a little bit of a sick sense of humor. So it,
Like the song.
yeah, it just shoves some things down your throat, which you kind of wanted, but not like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly
So
what transformation does. You don't want it,
yeah.
but it's there. And then you only realize it that it's the best thing to do after the fact. But
Mm-hmm.
it was a blessing in disguise. I mean, do you feel that's something? Do you feel that's what it is? I mean, do you feel um
Yeah.
For now, it's hard to say,
yeah,
actually.
it really is. Yeah, it's hard to say. I feel it is.
Yes, I
I
think
I feel
probably.
I feel there are good things happening for you guys. You just don't see it yet, perhaps.
Uh, yeah, we're always the last ones to see the good things. We're always the first ones to see the bad things. So
Yeah. So VEiLA. I just want to. I'm gonna put all the spelling and everything and down there, but it's VEiiLA. Can you tell us about what is the origin of that? And
hmm
Vay-la, it's a mythical creature, a siren, Scandinavian.
mm,
yeah, kind of like a siren. She lives on the mountains, uh, and she sings, and
a be-
passing by men fall for this. So
mhm.
she lures them into her cave and eats them.
uh,
Yeah,
like kind of like the Medusa, who was beautiful, and but she goes, kind of like that.
yeah, yeah,
Beautiful in that
something like
regard
that.
because Medusa was really beautiful in Greek mythology.
Yes, yeah. Vale is also known to be of extreme beauty. We changed a little bit the spelling to make it our own, and
No, but
uh,
that's how it's pronounced,
But
yes,
VEiLA.
maybe we're enchanted with the story.
yeah,
And
Oh, that's quite lovely. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah,
Sometimes I like to be surprised. I could look it up and everything, but I like to be surprised at because I always knew there's a depth to you guys. There's a depth. Yeah.
hmm
I mean, even this interview, I can tell there's a depth already. That behind all that darkness, there's a lot of light.
that's a yeah, it's a good look at it.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
point of view.
So tell us about how did you get into I guess the musical aspect, living home in Russia. I know you formed in 2015.
Yeah, something around that time. Um, yeah, we. Uh, it would be a little bit an overstatement to say that we formed because we had no form at that time. If you know what I mean. We just uh, we did things just for kicks
Mm-hmm.
for quite a while, but
Yeah,
uh,
your live performances are amazing. Yeah,
thanks,
yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, I love watching them.
Cool, yeah.
And you sound great
But
live.
we started a little bit with a different vibe, I guess.
Hmm.
We we went through many stages since then. So in 2015, probably yes, it's. I think it was the time when um, I think it was a time when we got some old synths and
Oh yeah, yeah.
a couple of some weird sequencers from the 90s.
Oh, so did you guys find that somewhere, and then you just put it all together?
Uh, yeah. Uh, I think actually a friend of mine, uh, he was going to sell some junk
Mm-hmm.
that he didn't use
Oh.
for 10 years.
Mm.
And he asked me what I think he, because I'm kind of like a little bit of a tech nerd. So he asked me, the, to give him some price references. I looked at those things. I thought, never, uh, you know, no way. I'm getting it for myself. So I think half of that stuff was a little bit wonky and a little,
So they're like kind of vintage.
yeah, especially considering the layer of dust.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty vintage, yes.
Oh, so that's
uh,
pretty good in a way. I mean, I know with tech now, everything is, you change your computer and all that stuff all the time, right? Because there's always upgrades and all that. But
yeah, that stuff was old, but we got into uh, we actually we've been doing you know making music together for a long time, but
mm-hmm,
we came to this electronic sound and
mm-hmm.
synths and drum machines and stuff around 2015, but we didn't really do much.
And eventually it was boring. So we came, decided to get a guitar
Yeah.
and make it more
So,
interesting.
ha- um, so Viv, have you always been singing? I mean, because I mean, if you haven't heard if you haven't heard Vay-la, you have to listen to the vocals. It's just so extremely beautiful.
I wanted always to sing, but I started to sing only when we've met with Bes, I guess. And
Mm.
at that time, I sounded pretty bad.
Really? Oh God, I can't believe that. Yeah.
Just being modest. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried to find a teacher, but I never found anybody who would, I don't know, inspire me in the right way. So eventually, I kind of rebelled against this and decided to teach myself.
Oh.
So
Oh, that's wow.
eventually,
Yeah. We're kind of DIY nerds, you know.
What kind of nerds?
DIY.
Oh, yeah. Well, this album, I'm looking at it. If anybody wanna check out your website, of course, is VEiiLA. Now, when you type this, sometimes, when there's two I's, it's really sometimes you gotta really look. You know what I mean? That's why. So VEiiLA.com. If anybody want to check out your website, it has all the information there and your history and story and music. And how did you get connected to Projekt Records? That's wonderful. That's congratulations.
Yeah.
thank you.
It's actually an interesting
It's
story
perfect. It's a
behind that.
perfect project. You guys perfect. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, we kind of. The funny story behind that is that uh, we didn't really seek for a label. We were going to release stuff like, you know, DIY, uh, indie way, and we uh, where I lost it. The Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
I'll come from that point.
Uh-huh.
There is Frodo and Sam, and Frodo is always constantly falling into the dark side, and Sam is always the sensible one who, pushes him. Come on, Mr. Frodo, let's go. We need to get the ring to the Mordor and stuff. So we were like Frodo and Frodo. We were both fallen into the dark side, and we would, because usually the last resort when you feel like that is black humor. So we were joking around that we needed Sam. So I don't really know. I think I was just reading some Wikipedia articles about bands, which I occasionally do just for, I don't know. I like to dig out some, band stories and read about some bands that don't even exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So there were links, some cross-reference links, and somehow I ended up on the website of Projekt Records. And
Oh.
I read an interview with Sam Rodensell, who runs Projekt Records,
Mm-hmm.
and it clicked. I read this interview and I was like, damn, this guy is just he's just the same crazy as we are. So I come to Vif and I'm like,
Yeah.
you gotta read this. You gotta see this dude. Look at this. He's been doing this thing for 40 years or something like that. It's like, it's insane.
Yeah, they just had the
I
anniversary,
Huh?
They
Yeah.
yeah, they just I did an interview with Sam about the anniversary.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to Project too for like how many decades? So,
Yeah. We just wrote him an email, and I think it was like a very unprofessional email, because I don't think we really, I don't even know what we wanted. We just wrote an email to say hi, and to talk about, I think I wrote something about the end of the world and idiocracy and potentially Schopenhauer, because I think that time we were a little bit, we were discussing the philosophical pessimism all the time,
mhm.
considering the career path. So, that's not not the type of email that you would imagine a band would write to a record label. So we didn't really expect anyone to even read this email. But, a few hundreds emails later, here we are. And the
Yeah,
album is out.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you guys are definitely a project label type of music, I mean, they have a certain type, and if you're familiar with Project, then it's like, yeah, some of the um most beautiful music come from Project.
Yeah, we read that they were like the American answer to 4AD.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, 4AB is like, oh my, especially the
Uh-huh.
80s 4AB. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you're familiar with 4AB, it's just like it's always been one of my all-time favorite label 4AB. So, but yeah, it's wonderful. So this album is really Sentimental Craving for Beauty. Um, so who does the song, the lyrics and all that? You guys write it together?
Yeah, we're writing together.
Oh, good.
And we don't even want to separate it. And often we don't even know where it starts. Sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
even forget and ask Bes who wrote the song.
More likely like who wrote this line or who wrote that line. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that there's an English English titles, and you know, um, I love "Can't Forgive Myself," the first song on the track. It already that's the first one I heard, and I'm like, wow, totally blown away.
Thanks. Yeah.
Do you feel like I know you went through so much already, you know, I could say you went through hell and you went through hell, you know, what you went through. Do you feel there's still like because I know you were talking about craving, you know, on one of your thing. Was that you that said that? I can't remember if it was you or something related to your music. That you have this craving even though you've gone through ruin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels like there's no ground somehow.
Hmm.
Storm, I don't know, floating in the midair. But there is craving that basically the only thing that keeps us
And
moving, you
yeah.
know.
It's like an inspirational thing, right? Like
Yeah. And it's also a complete freedom, I guess.
mhm.
Uh, which which is something that's quite unnerving when you just realize, yeah, you live, you get used to things, you kind of you have the routine, you have the you know you you know or you think you know what's gonna happen tomorrow, and then at some point you have no idea what's gonna happen tomorrow or a month from now. And when you get used to that, it's not like you can get used to that actually, but at some point I guess you just get used to the feeling.
Yeah, and I guess that's why it's called sentimental craving for beauty, right?
Yes.
Kind of like the
Yeah.
inspiration, like what the Portuguese call saudade and what the Spanish call duende. You know, it's this craving for beauty. You know, by inspiration, the dark inspiration. You know,
Yes. Yeah. It's yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah.
what is it like to live there in Armenia? I mean, I know you probably made a lot of friends. I'm sure there were many people that are wonderful people there. Yeah.
It's beautiful here.
Mm-hmm. I never been. I want to come. I used to have a friend that was Armenian. I don't know what happened to her. Uh, you know, I think she lived in New York, and you know when what is that the World Trade Center felt, you know, collapsed. She was in that
Uh-huh.
building, but I think she
Oh.
escaped because she was below. You know, if you were below the where the plane hit, you
Uh-huh.
survived if you ran down really quickly. You know, you have to have run down really quickly. Like if you were maybe like not too high up, but you were below the
Mm-hmm.
area where the plane hit, you're okay. I think a lot of people, anybody above that, I don't think they made it. You know, obviously not. But she was below it. I think she got out. I was able to reach her and said, "Oh, I made it. I'm okay." But I don't know what happened after that. You know, people just. But yeah, she was from Armenia. Yeah, she was a lawyer that worked in that building. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I heard it's a beautiful place.
It is beautiful. Yeah. The nature is really beautiful. The mountains.
There's a lot of what is the scene like? The dark goth scene.
Yeah, that's um we live in a small town now. We moved through three cities.
Hmm.
Uh we were in Yerevan, which is the capital and the biggest one.
Hmm.
Then in another one, which is the second largest, and now in this one, which is the third largest. But when you say something, the third largest city, it sounds large. But considering that the whole country is rather small, the population of Armenia is half of the population of our hometown, and that's the whole country. Uh, so the third largest city is actually, in fact, a very cute uh, small town. You know, the cows are walking the streets here, and
Oh,
geese.
really? Wow,
Yeah.
really? Oh, like India.
Uh, Yeah,
Not like India, right? I
yeah,
don't think anything could be like India.
yes. So yeah, it's uh we
It's a rainy and foggy city,
Oh yeah,
and
beautiful then.
locals call
yes,
it Armenian London.
yeah. Or the locals
Baltic
call it,
London.
yeah. Which was kind of funny because actually Armenians, they love the sun. You know, they love hot weather. They love summer. So every time when it's raining, it's actually raining right now. Every time when it's raining, everyone is very sad. But we feel ourselves in the
Very
right place when
happy.
it's raining.
Yeah, yeah.
We did play a few shows, but I I once googled about. I was just
Mhm.
I was wondering about the goth community, the dark wave community, some kind of
Yeah,
goth
I'm sure
related.
there must be.
Yeah,
I would
I found
imagine there would be.
I found somebody asking. I think it was on some Reddit or something. Is there other goth people but me in Armenia? So that kind of uh, I don't know. Somehow I think Armenians are more inclined to the happy,
Oh,
bright type of music, celebratory. So it's really hard to imagine Armenian goth community.
oh yeah. But you made a lot of friends, I'm sure, since you've been there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure they welcomed you.
It's yeah. The people are very, very welcoming, very, very kind, and also it's what's interesting that we met a lot of uh, artists, painters.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
Uh,
there's a big art community there, yeah.
yeah,
Are you guys do you do any kind of art?
we yes we do many things. Where
Sure.
yeah, we actually
You
yeah we do besides all the stuff related to our band, like photography, video,
mm,
because
yeah,
we do
your
everything.
videos are amazing. Who does the videos?
Yeah, we do them
Oh,
too.
you do them, yeah.
Yeah, we kind of do everything. We're a little bit of a control freaks, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's okay.
Yeah,
You want it to go in your
yeah,
focus, you know?
yeah. And then recently we also started this um, visual thing project. I don't know. Uh, it's implemented into our artworks. It's also
I
uh,
drew some pictures, ink on paper,
Mm.
and
yeah,
in artwork for Sentimental Craving For Beauty, we combined some photos and these artworks together.
and when Viv says that she drew some pictures, that's actually probably about a couple or 300s of them. So uh, at some point, I think you were doing it just for this, self-preservation, uh, not to go insane. But
Not satisfying reality
yeah, but we
drove me.
accumulated a stash of these pictures, and
Mhm.
I just thought that we have to do something with them. So now we turn them into digital graphics, and when we play our gigs,
Mhm. Oh yeah, you put in the
uh,
background.
yeah, well, there is they go in some synchronized animation and with it's a lot of high-tech stuff, but the thing is that all the all the 300 pictures finally found
Oh yeah.
a place where
And everything is connected in one big concept. So it's
Mhm.
kind of
yeah, I don't really know what is the concept, but it's there.
So, how would you categorize your music in terms of genre? Because it sounds it could be trip hop, it could be dark wave, it could be down tempo. Well, how would you describe? I mean, I don't want to think about the way that. I mean, that's
we
Yeah.
don't like tags, and we usually don't categorize it.
Uh, we have to occasionally categorize it, obviously, and
But we don't really care about it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, Sam came up with a really nice um,
Hmm.
genre because we were emailing back and forth and talking about unrelated stuff about literature and this and that,
Mhm.
and he proposed a really cool genre name, Bleak House.
Bleak House.
Bleak House, yes, like that book. And I forgot who wrote Bleak House, for crying out loud. Anyway, uh, yeah, guilty. I didn't read it, um, so
Oh, okay. Oh, wow,
so I
that's
can't really.
interesting. Bleak House. So you're the first one with that genre. You should keep that going.
Yeah, we occasionally just use it for just for horsing around, but obviously nobody will understand when you say Bleak House.
Not yet. Give it some time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
When I look at your, if you go to, well, Projekt is connected. They have a Projekt Bandcamp page where you can find
Mhm.
your music. I know there's a 20 page lyric booklet. If people was to buy your music, they can download this as well, right?
Yes,
That's
yeah.
great.
It's also actually part of that visual concept that we were talking about. I I remember there was something else to this, and yes, that's the booklet, which we completely forgot about, but it's there, and it also utilizes those uh, graphics. So yeah,
So were all of these songs, there's 13 of them, were they written during the time that you left your country around that time or even before that?
yeah. Not all of them. Some were written before, some were written later. I guess it's pretty easy to figure out
Yeah, I
the
could kind of.
timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the timeline by the level of despair in the songs. It's just the more desperate, the closer it to the now. You know.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Thank you so much. God, there's so much I mean there's so much more we can talk about, but big shout out to Ethan Marolis for
yeah,
connecting.
thanks,
Yeah, when
thanks,
I heard
Ethan.
your music, I reached out to him quickly and I said, "Hey, what about?" I don't know quite how to pronounce their name, but I'll spell it for you. I spelled it for him. I mean,
Uh huh.
and he had to get back to me, of course, and reach out to you guys. But thank you for accepting this interview.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
Thank you
pleasure.
very much.
I knew you came from somewhere really far away. I can tell. uh, and he wanted to make sure that you guys are able to communicate and we can do the interview because of I live in Hawaii, so I'm in the opposite side.
Yeah,
Obviously we're like two different time zones, but I'm glad we are able to do this. And like I mentioned, there's only a window of time that we can actually do the interview, because if we did it before, it'd be too early. If we do it a little bit later, it'd be too late. So for you guys, because I know it's late there and early in the morning here, so it always seems to be that way. But I don't mind waking up early.
Yeah, it's yeah, and we don't mind staying up late. So
Yeah, usually the artist would rather do a late interview than an early one, and that's fine with me. Is I don't like staying up too late either. So I mean,
yeah,
all
I
those
think maybe
days when I stayed up late was are long gone. Actually, I don't stay up late that much anymore. Um,
yeah,
I like my
so
sleep.
yeah, we all do.
So, do you guys have anything coming up in the future, in terms of a new album or some ideas?
Uh,
I
We
know.
can
yeah,
play some shows.
Oh yeah, in
yeah,
over there in Armenia.
yeah. We would obviously we don't mind playing anywhere. So yeah, we will see how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We we now have we have to. Uh, I don't know what did I want to say. We have to. Apparently, we don't have to. Um, I had some thought, but it slipped my mind.
Well, you guys are. I mean, you guys have quite a bit of a good following, you know,
Yeah, we have
and
uh, we have
I
some
can't wait to
really
share your music with the rest of my listeners and everything. And ModSnap Radio. It's beautiful. It's beautiful music, and there's a mystery behind your whole persona. Obviously, yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
it's intriguing.
nice things.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
people want to check this out. Yeah, they're in the project label, Projekt Records .com, I believe is the website, or projectrecords.bandcamp.com if you want to know more about VEiiLA, pronounced VEiiLA, but it's spelled VEiiLA. Vif, who's the lead vocalist, and Bes, who does
keyboards.
you guys play what kind of instruments?
Guitar. Mm,
Yeah, Viv plays guitar and
Hmm.
keyboards, and I play keyboards. Uh, yeah,
That's great.
a lot of keyboards.
I mean, there's so many wonderful talents in there, and where you guys came from, where you guys come from is so many wonderful talents, and especially in music and art and everything. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I hope I get to see you guys live. I would love to.
yeah, we'd love that too.
I would just have, I guess I have to go to Europe or somewhere. I don't know. Uh, yeah, I think it's time to travel again for me.
Yeah, sure, it is for everyone.
I would love
Yeah.
to go to Armenia. So what is it? I mean, do you get a lot of tourists?
Uh, yes, in Yerevan, which is the
I don't know
capital of.
anybody who goes to Armenia. That's why I'm sure people
It's
do. Hmm.
in the summertime. It's like Yerevan downtown is like one endless restaurant. Literally, you walk the street and the tables never end.
and
You,
there's
you
a lot of music going on
yeah,
also.
Oh
people
yeah,
playing
yeah. So
music.
that's why I need to go. You know that Yerevan. Nina Hagen sings about that. You know Nina Hagen.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. She sings about. I just had a memory when you said that. That's why I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Oh, okay. So that's a place to go. All right. Well, I'll definitely look you guys up if I'm ever like in decide to come to Armenia, or if you guys travel outside of Armenia and play somewhere else. Keep us posted,
sure.
and
Yes.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
You know, thank you so much for. I mean, is there anything else that I didn't that you want to mention? Something in that some news, anything like
We
that?
got we have a music video that just came out 3 days
Oh, okay.
ago, I guess. So yeah, there is
And
some news.
you also have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's there on YouTube. Yes.
Under your name. Just Google VEiiLA and you'll find the YouTube channel as well. And if you're
It's
watching this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're watching on my YouTube channel. And yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Viv and Bes, VEiLA.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Yeah.